Hello and welcome everyone, yet to another video in the ALEX software engineering program, and in this video we will talk about the shell navigation. So in this video we will talk about what is shell and what is bash and how to navigate in a Unix system, how to list files and directories, how to display the content of a file, and how to create a file or directory, and also how to remove a file or directory, and how to move or copy a file or directory. So first let's start what is a shell. So a shell is a program that provides a command line interface for interaction with an operating system. And bash, short for bourne again shell, it is a shell. So bash is a shell. So there are so many shells available. Like for Windows there is PowerShell, and for Mac OS there is bash. For Linux and Unix systems there is also bash, which is the most common one. Okay, so here there is a diagram. In this diagram, this is the user. So the user will use the terminal. So the terminal is a program that provides a text-based interface for the user to interact with the shell. So in the terminal you type the command. That command you type in the terminal will go to the shell, and the shell will take that command and execute it in the system, and then we'll give the output to the terminal to display it to the user. Okay, so here is our operating system, which have the shell and the kernel. So the kernel is the core component, and it is also the bridge between the hardware and the software. Okay, so the user will use the terminal to type the commands. That command will be taken and sent to the shell. The shell will execute the command and send the output back to the terminal to display it to the user. For example, here, this is a terminal. If we type any command here, it will, and we will hit enter, it will be sent to the bash or to the shell. He will try to execute it, and he will display the output. So the output that this command is not found. Okay. So now let's see the file system hierarchy in Unix. So in Unix systems, files are organized in a tree like directories. It's like Windows. No big difference. At the most top layer there is the root directory. So this is the root directory. It is this /. If we see here in our terminal, this slash here, this is our root directory. So now we are at the root directory. Okay, and from the root directory we will see other folders here, this etc, bin, dev, home, and so on. These are predefined folders. These are required by the system, by the Unix system. And there are some user-defined folders like documents, any other folders. Okay, so there is one root folder, and from the root folders they will go some predefined directories or folders, and then user-defined folders. Okay, so now let's talk about navigating in a Unix system. It is like going from folder to folder, going inside a folder, and so on. So the most common commands is this one, ls. So this ls command is used to list the content of a directory. It is like going to File Explorer and opening a folder. This opening a folder will list the content of that folder. So the ls command is like that. So if I go to my terminal and I type ls, it will list all the folders and files inside the root folder. Okay, this is the ls command. cd commands, it is shortcut for change directory. This is used to change the current directory. For example, now if I type print working directory, we are at the root directory, and if I want, for example, to go to home directory, I will use the command change directory cd, and then followed by the folder we want to change to. For example, I want to go to home directory, so I will type cd home. So you can see here now I am at /forward home. I am at the home directory. So the pwd, it is shortcut for print working directory. So it is used to display the full path of the current directory. So here, if I type pwd, it will print the current directory. I am at the home directory now. And we use the 2 dots. It is a shortcut for going back to the parent directory. So in this terminal, now I am at home directory, but if I want to go back to the root directory, I will just type cd and 2 dots. This will take me back to the root directory. So if I print the working directory, now I'm at the home directory. And we use the tilde symbol to refer to the home directory of the current user. So now we are at the root directory, but if I want to go to my home directory, I will just type cd and the tilde symbol. If I print the working directory, now I am at my home directory. So the home directory for the current user, which is this one. I am at the home directory of the current user. There may be so many users in the same system, so it will take to the current logged in user. Okay, now we'll move on to listing files and directories. So we have seen the ls command to list the content of a directory. If I type it now, it will list the content of the home directory of the current user. So it will list the content of this directory. If I want to display the content in a long format with the timestamp, permissions, and owner, we use ls-l. So if I type ls-l, it will list the same content here, this folder, and also this folder. But so it is this one, and this one, but with more information like read and write, the owner, the editor, the size, the date that was modified, and the time. Okay. Now, if you want to display some hidden files, let's say that there are some hidden files and we want to display them. So we use ls-a. Can you use ls-a? See here, it showed so many other directories that are having this dot in the start of the name. That means it is hidden. This dot, it is hidden. We can also combine commands like, for example, ls-a-l. This will show all the files, including the hidden ones, and in a long format. Okay. Let's move next to displaying the content of a file. So let's say, for example, if we list the content again, and we will go inside the shell navigation folder. So we will cd or change directory to the shell navigation folder. Okay, and if we type ls to list the content of the directory shell navigation, we will see there are some folders, folder 1 and folder 2. We will change directory to folder 1. So we will change directory cd and then the name of the folder. Okay, now to list the content of this folder, we'll use the ls command. It will show the content of the folder 1 inside the shell navigation folder. And if I try to see which directory I am at, just use pwd. It will print the full path of the current directory. So we are inside the home directory of the current user in the shell navigation folder inside folder number or folder 1. Okay, now let's cd to this subfolder 1. To do that, we'll just type cd and the name of the folder. To list the content, we'll use the ls command. So now we have file 1, file 2, and file 3. We have some files here. Inside this folder, we have some files. So there are only names here, file 1, file 2, file 3, but we don't know the content of these 3 files. If we want to see the content of this file, it's like opening a file in Windows. When you double click a file, you open it. Here, to see the content of this file, we use the command cat. It will display all the content of the file. So we will use the cat command followed by the name of the file. For example, file 1. Here, it will show the content. If we want to see the content of file 2, the same, we use the cat command and then name of the file. Here it will print the content of the file underscore 2. If we want to see the content of file 3, we'll type cat and then file 3. It will show all the content and you can scroll. Here is the content. It is going from this line to here. So this is all the content of the file 3. To clear this terminal, we use the command clear. It will clear everything here. Okay. Now let's say that you want to just see the first lines or to display the content of the file in a page-like format. So you use the command less. If we type less and then the name of the file, you can see here it will show in a separate screen. No other commands, but only the content of the file. If you want to exit, you type the letter Q for quit. And see the difference between cat. If we type cat and then file 1, it will print the content on the terminal. But if we use less, it will show only the content of the file. To illustrate it more, we will see the content of file 3. Here it says file 3. This is the first page, and if we keep hitting enter, it will give us more content. And you can scroll with the arrows also, going with the up key and down arrow key till the end. When when we reach the end of the file, it will say here it is the end. To quit this mode, you just type Q. Okay, shortcut for quit. Another command that is common is head. So this head and tail, this head will show the first few lines and the tail will show the last few lines. For example, if we type head then file 3, it will show the first lines. Here it is not showing the full content, it's just showing some lines till here, because if we use the cat command, you can see the content is more. If we go back, this is the command head. It is showing the content from the standard to here, to this 45 BC. But if we use the cat command, it is showing here it is 45 BC, but there is more content after that. So head and tail will show only few lines. If we have a bigger files containing a lot of content, we can use the head and tail to just get an idea of the content of the file. Now let's talk about creating and removing files and directories. So first we will see how to create an empty file. So we will create this terminal and we will cd back, or we will change directory back to this folder 1. For that we will use cd and 2 dots. It will take us back from this folder to this folder. Okay, now we are inside folder 1. If we list the content, we can see we have subfolder 1 and subfolder here. Now let's say we want to create a file, for example named one, or a file named hello.txt, for example. We use the command touch. Touch means create a new file or a new empty file, and we'll use the name of the file, for example hello.txt with the extension, or we can use it without extension. Okay, if we list the content again, we will see another file was created here. It is named tx. It is not txt, my mistake. But anyhow, the file is created. If we see the content of this file, so it is empty. There is nothing inside this file. Let's see, we made a mistake and we want to remove this file. We want to delete it. If we want to remove a file, we use the command rm. It is a shortcut for remove a file. So if we want to remove this hello.txt file, because we made a mistake, we want to create a hello.txt file, we can use the shortcut for remove, which is rm, and then the name of the file we want to delete. For example, this one. If we list the content again, you can see the file doesn't exist anymore. It is deleted. And then we will create the correct file, which is hello.txt. Now, if we list the content, we will see the file is created here. But let's say we want to delete a directory. For example, we want to delete this folder, this subfolder 2. If we try using the remove command on the folder, it will say cannot remove subfolder 2 because it is a directory. It is not a file, so it won't delete it. If we list again, we can see it still exists here. Okay, so to delete a directory, we can use the remove directory or the remove with a shortcut here with this dash D. Okay, we can use remove dash D and then the name of the folder, which is subfolder 2. So if we list the content again, the subfolder 2 is gone. But let's say we want to delete also this one. Let's try remove dash D and then subfolder 1. Here it is given cannot remove subfolder 1 because this directory is not empty. Okay, so the remove will delete files. Remove with dash D will delete a directory if it is only if it is empty. And also we can use the remove directory to delete an empty directory. Before we go on, let's go back to this command mkdir. This is shortcut for make a directory. This is used to create a new folder. For example, here if we list the content, we have a text file which is hello and folder named subfolder1. Let's say we want to create a new directory or a new folder. We use the command mkdir for shortcut for make a new directory, and we will give it a name, for example, shell navigation. So if we list the content now, we can see we have our file, the subfolder one, and a new folder here, which is shell navigation. And we can change the directory to this new folder here with the command change directory and then the name of the folder. Now we are inside the shell navigation folder. If we want to go back, we will use change directory with two dots. This will take us back one step. And if we want to go back to our home directory, we will use cd with the symbol tilde. So here you can see we have gone back to our home directory. Directly from this one, we have gone to the home directory. If we list the content, you can see we have these folders. Now we will go back to where we were here in this folder one. So instead of typing cd name of the folder and then go in again and list items, then change directory to another folder, we can use the full path. For example, let's go back to our home directory and let's say we want to go to the folder we created, which is the shell navigation here. We want to go to this folder. So what is the path of this folder? It is this one, home directory, shell navigation, folder 1, and then the name of this folder, which is shell navigation also. So we can type here change directory, then the name of the first folder, then again the name of the folder inside, which is folder 1, then forward slash, then the name of this folder. Okay, this will take us to this path or to this folder shell navigation, which is inside folder 1, and it is also inside this main folder, which is shell navigation, which is inside the home directory. Okay, now let's say we want to delete this shell navigation folder. So to delete this folder, we will change directory to folder 1. So we will go back to folder 1 and then to remove the folder or a directory, we have seen the command remove with -d. We can use also the command remove directory. So if we type remove directory and make mkdir, it is for making directory. rm is for removing directory, then the name of this directory. If we list the content, we can see the recently created folder is deleted. Doesn't exist here. There is only this subfolder 1 and hello.txt. Now we have seen before we tried to delete this folder and it gave an error. So here, let's clear this terminal. We list the content and let's try to remove this folder. So we'll use the remove directory command and then the name of the folder. Here it will give an error, failed to remove subfolder because directory is not empty. So to delete a non-empty directory, we use the remove command with -r. This is to remove a non-empty directory and its content. So if we type remove rm -r and then the name of the directory, it is deleted. If we list the content, we are left only with this hello file. So this touch to create a new file, mk dir to create a new directory or a new folder, rm shortcut for remove to remove a file, rm dir to remove a directory, and also rm-d to remove an empty directory. So both these commands, this one, remove directory and remove -d, are for deleting empty directories. To delete a non-empty directories, we use the remove with -r. Okay, but be careful when removing files. There is no trash bin or endo function in Linux. So in Windows, when you delete a file, it goes to a trash bin and then you can restore it. But in Unix, there is no trash bin. If you delete a file or a folder, it is gone forever. Okay, now let's talk about moving and copying files and directories. So here we have deleted all the content. So we will create some directories first. So we will use the command mkdir for creating a new directory. We will name it folder 1 and we will create another folder named folder 2. If we list the content, now we have folder 1, folder 2, and this hello file. Now let's say we want to move this hello.txt file inside the folder number 1. The command for that is mv, which is shortcut for move. It will move if we type move followed by the name, followed by the path where we want to copy that or we want to move that file. For example, if we want to move this file hello.txt to the folder 1, we'll use the move command followed by the name of the file and then the name of the new directory, which is folder 1. If we hit enter, the command is executed. If we list the content, we can see we only have folder 2 and folder 1. This hello.txt file, now it is inside this folder. If we change directory to folder 1 and we list the content, there is our file which is hello text. So now it is inside folder 1. If we want to take it back, we can use move command, the name of the file, and then we will type 2 dots. If we list now, there is nothing inside folder 1. If we go back to a directory and list the content, our hello.txt file is gone back to its original place. And another thing with this move command, it is also used to rename files and directories. Let's say we want to change the name of this file from hello1 to for example, word. So we will type move hello.txt and then the new name of the file. So we want to name it, for example, word.txt. And if we hit enter, the command will be executed. We list the content. Now this file hello.txt is renamed to word.txt. The same for folders. If we want to rename folders, we use the mv command. So let's say we want to rename this folder 1 to a new folder, for example. So we'll use the mv, the name of the current of the folder we want to rename, and then the new name, which is new folder, for example. If we list the content here, the folder 1 is renamed to new folder. So mv is used for both moving files and directories, and also for renaming files and directories. Now, if we want to copy a file or a directory, we use the command cp, shortcut for copy. So if we want, for example, to copy this file here inside this new folder, because if we go now inside the new folder, it is empty, there is nothing inside it. But now we want to copy this file word.txt inside the new folder. So we will go back to the directory, we'll change, we will list the content. Now the command to copy this file to this folder is cp, shortcut for copy, then followed by the name of the file we want to copy, then followed by the path, which is a new folder. If we hit enter and we list the content, our file still exists here. And if we go inside this new folder, we'll change directory and we list the content. Now this word.txt file exists also in this new folder, so it was copied from here to this folder. And for example, let's say we want to copy a directory. For example, we want to copy this new folder inside this folder too. Okay, so it is the same. Let's go back one directory. Now we are inside here. If we list the content, we have this new folder. We want to copy this new folder inside folder 2. The same command cp, the name of the folder we want to copy, then the destination, which is folder 2. So if we type folder 2, it will give an error. Omitting directory, you can use -r to omit a directory. Why we got this error? Because this new folder is not empty. It contains some files. So to copy a folder and its content, we should use -r. So if we go again and use the command cp with -r, then the name of the folder we want to copy, and then the destination, which is folder 2, it will execute successfully. So if we go inside this folder 2, so we will change directory to folder 2 and we list the content, we will see this new folder that was copied here. So to sum up, the basics commands to move around, see the content of files, and change directories, and delete files, delete directories. So we have the ls command to list content, cd shortcut for change directory to change the current directory, pwd to print the current directory. We have the shorthand 2 dots to go up one directory, and the tilde to go to the home directory of the current user. We have the list-l and list-a to display more information or more content here. We have the cut, list, head, and tail to display the content of a file. We have touch to create a new file, mkdir for making new directory or new folder, rm for removing a file, and with -d to remove a directory, rmdir to remove a directory, and if only if it is empty. To remove a non-empty directory, we use the remove shortcut for with the -r. And for moving and renaming files, we use the mv command. For copying files and directory, we use cp. So this cp will copy a directory only if it is empty. To copy a non-empty directory, we'll use cp with dash r, like this. Cp and then dash r. So that's it for navigating in the Unix system. If you still have any question, don't hesitate, leave them in the comments. I will answer them.